here already, but it is co-main event time. All heavyweight action the rest of the way from Vegas here tonight. Well, Derrick Lewis has made no secret of his desire to throw hands with Francis Ngannou. The Predator obliged the Black Beast. As such, the stage has been set for a slugfest of epic proportions. Two of the most exciting heavyweights of this era are expected to shake the foundations of T-Mobile Arena tonight, as #1 ranked Francis Ngannou faces off with top 5 contender Derrick Lewis.
It was just like one of those fights that the fans wanted to see and I wanted to be a part of. You know, I love to be in entertaining fights.
He wanted me, he got me, and now he get what go with it.
Popular Houston, Texas slugger Derrick Lewis has made no secret of his plans on fight night. He's looking to get an opponent out of there as soon as possible. And with 15 of his last 16 wins coming by knockout, it is clear the heavy mitts of the Black Beast deliver on those plans with frightening efficiency.
I believe this fight right here got fireworks written all over it because both of us, we love to bang. You know, we really like to stand up and throw.
Heavyweight sensation Francis Ngannou soared to the top of the division with knockouts of Curtis Blades, Andrei Arlovski, and Alistair Overeem that captured the attention of the entire sport. And now that the Predator has arrived, he hopes a win over Lewis will get him another shot at the championship he so covets.
Derrick and I tonight, it's a great opportunity to me to get back into the business and then try to figure out how to get back to the title shot.
Well, Derrick Lewis, Joe, has been as active and really as effective as any heavyweight since he debuted in the UFC in 2014. Tonight, he makes the walk for his 14th UFC appearance. He'll try to leave here as the #1 heavyweight contender.
Derrick Lewis is an absolutely legitimate wild man. You see him there knocking out Gabriel Gonzaga. And if you don't think he's a wild man, go to his Instagram page. Dude is probably the funniest Instagram page out of any fighter. Sorry, Dominic Cruz. But he's a heavy-handed knockout artist and the kind of guy that has the style to make a fight with Francis Ngannou spectacular. I'm so looking forward to this because of the way this guy fights. I cannot imagine this being anything other than chaos for as long as it lasts.
Come on, Joe, you know you gotta apologize to me. You're the comedian, you would know. The point is that I want to make with this matchup is these guys don't care about each other in a sense. A lot of times you get respect from one guy to the other. The other guy respects, you know, there's just too much respect. You're not going to see 1 ounce of respect from these guys, especially Derrick Lewis. He'll fight anybody at any given time, and more than anything, he just wants to knock you out, and he wants to make it a street brawl as close to that as possible, and that's where he thinks his gift is.
Tonight's Prep Point is brought to you by Modelo Especial, brewed with a fighting spirit since 1925. Lewis attended Kilgore College in Texas, full football scholarship, was an outstanding defensive end, but he pivoted at some point thereafter to fighting, and the results have really been there in the UFC, and really draws a lot of confidence from his head coach, Bob Perez. They have studied film. They feel like there are openings they can capitalize on, and largely that's why they asked for this fight.
And he's one of the only human beings crazy enough to call for this fight. And look at him. Looks very calm.
The Black Beast, Derrick Lewis, 26th professional fight tonight, trying to make it 8 wins in his last 9. He grew up in Batik, Cameroon, where the average citizen earns $1,300 a year. We don't have enough time to set up the entire story, but from poverty in Paris, France, to UFC superstardom, tonight Francis Ngannou trying to set up a second attempt at UFC heavyweight gold and glory.
And I like the fact that he's coming into this fight light. He weighed more than 10 pounds lighter than he weighed in his championship effort against Stipe Miocic, which means that he's working on his cardio, working on being lean, which was a huge factor in that fight. That man's a big factor. John Wood, who's the lead trainer at the Syndicate here in Las Vegas, a great MMA gym. He's changed his location where he trains. Looks physically fantastic coming into this fight. We're going to learn what lessons he took from that fight against the right now heavyweight champion of the world, Stipe Miocic.
Yeah, and something that he wanted to make very apparent was the foundation that he has back home in Cameroon. He said a lot of kids don't have somebody to look up to. I want to be that person that I was looking for when I was a kid in the streets with nothing to eat. I want to be that human being for these kids. So he started a foundation out there. They're doing really well. It's growing. But more than anything, he said, I have to stay professional. That's why I speak with this soft-spoken manner. That's why I act as professional as I can, because it's for the kids back home that I used to be. I want to be that, what I needed when I was a kid for them.
But don't mistake his kindness for weakness, because this man has a decided mean streak. You can look at that final strike against Alistair Overeem. This is a man who goes in there very serious about taking care of his business, and a lot of people still believe he has a great chance to become the first African-born UFC champion if he can turn back the challenge of the Black Beast tonight.
Oh, he's still in the mix for sure. If he can fix a few things about his endurance and his takedown defense and wrestling, and we're going to find out a lot about him tonight.
That loss was, I'm sorry, Joe. That loss was the best thing that could have ever happened to him. I swear it was. Now he knows the hole in his game, and all you have to do to fix it is be in shape. Whoa.
Francis Ngannou, you mentioned John Wood, more structured MMA training now. Will it be enough to get past Derrick Lewis tonight? The answer yours in a matter of moments. This Tale of the Tape brought to you by Modelo Especial, brewed with the fighting spirit since 1925. So the big number here, 253 pounds for Francis Ngannou. This was a concerted effort, not just to come in lighter, but to come in quicker. We'll see how Ngannou looks tonight, especially in the early going against Derrick Lewis. He will have a 4-inch reach advantage. All right, now for the introductions, we turn it over to Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the co-main event of the evening. Sponsored by The Equalizer 2. In theaters July 20th. There is no equal. And now, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC heavyweight division. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, a brawler holding a professional record, 19 wins, 5 losses, 1 no contest. He stands 6 feet 3 inches tall, weighing in at 264 and 1/2 pounds. Fighting out of Houston, Texas, presenting the number 5 ranked heavyweight contender in the world, Derrick the Black Beast Lewis. And now introducing his opponent, fighting out of the red corner, a mixed martial artist holding a professional record, 11 wins, 2 losses. He stands 6 feet 4 inches tall, weighing in at 253 pounds. Fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, by way of Paris, France, and Bati, Cameroon, presenting the number 1 ranked heavyweight contender in the world, Francis the Predator Ngannou. And when the action begins, our referee in charge, Herb Dean.
Herb Dean, 3rd man in the octagon for this much anticipated heavyweight clash. Judges will be scoring this fight tonight just in case. Finish, though, certainly is in the forecast. As you'll see here, these are the 2 most prolific heavyweight finishers dating to 2015 in the heavyweight division.
Ready, let's do it.
Tonight's fight clock is brought to you by Modelo Especial, brewed with the fighting spirit since 1925. Ngannou in black, Derrick Lewis in white.
Ngannou switching stances.
Watch for the left high kick when he switches stance. It's one of his, he likes to throw that when he switches.
This is a 0 margin for error type matchup. Either one of these guys could knock any human being into another dimension with 1 shot. Maybe not that shot. But you know what I'm saying.
I'm not arguing with you, Joe.
Derrick Lewis, a lot of main event experience in the UFC. 3 times he has headlined.
Ngannou very patient here. A lot of feints, sizing it up. Yeah, he keeps going to that southpaw side.
He's looking for that high kick. I don't feel it. He's looking for that left high kick. It's going to be powerful when he throws it.
Derrick Lewis. Oh.
Lewis with the first real crack.
And I like that Lewis is the one throwing it because he knows that that's not Ngannou's natural stance. So that's what you want to do, fire on it. Make them use their defense where they're not comfortable.
You know, another question that we're going to have coming into this fight is how does Ngannou, Derrick Lewis with the switch kick up high, is how does Ngannou recover from the psychological defeat?
Right.
I mean, what kind of a fighter is he? He was operating on so much momentum and so much confidence, stopping everybody in the first round.
That's why this fight's so important, Joe. It's very hard to come back from something like that and get back on the win column. And Ngannou will show his colors through this fight.
We haven't even seen him throw a strike.
I mean, Derrick Lewis hits really hard, so I kind of can't blame him. Nobody wants to get knocked out right away by a pure power puncher.
Ngannou back tonight for the first time since that championship setback against Stipe back in January.
The one thing that could set this off, I call this staring in the mirror to my guys. You're just looking in the mirror. You got to fake. You got to move in and out. At least give a feint. Because right now they're going speed for speed, power for power.
Except Francis isn't really throwing.
Well, they're looking at each other. That's looking in the mirror, but that's all they're looking for is speed and power. They're not setting it up with movement. That's what feints will do. There it goes. Now he's faking a little, but it's not very committed.
Lewis perhaps trying to set up a counter. 2 minutes to go in round one.
If you would have told me it would be 3 minutes into the first round and Ngannou never even threw a shot, I would say you were crazy.
Yeah.
What's the Vegas odds on that? You're a gambler, man.
Yeah, I do not have that number for you, Joe, but I can tell you a lot of people put a lot of money down on this fight not seeing a second round, and we're 1 minute and 40 seconds away from being there.
I'll tell you this, if there's one thing I would do if I was Ngannou after getting tired in my last fight, it was not throw too much to get tired. He's scared of getting tired after feeling that exhaustion. So he's conserving. I have a feeling in the second and third round he's going to start picking it up, but he's trying to pace himself.
Here's that jab. Nice long jab by Ngannou.
So a decidedly patient approach out of the Predator here tonight. He started his UFC career 6-0 with 6 finishes. Now closing the distance a little bit.
Derrick Lewis, every time he's getting close, he's keeping him honest. He's throwing some heavy shots. And that's another reason why Ngannou's being cautious. There's a lot of firepower in that cage right now.
A lot of bullets in the gun, too. Not firing nothing.
And perhaps Ngannou just wanted to sort of get through these 5 minutes, and we'll see an uptick in the aggression in round 2. But he's landed just 1 strike, has Ngannou in this first round.
Derrick Lewis has got an impressive switch kick. For such a big guy, for him to throw that switch kick up high, you just don't expect it.
So to the surprise of many, we will see a second round. Tonight's Corner Cam brought to you by Body Armor. Make the switch to Body Armor, the official sports drink of UFC. Try their new UFC flavor, Octagon Orange, exclusively available at 7-Eleven.
All right, good job. I need you to sit down. Give me the water, please. I just want you to breathe for a second. I just want you to breathe, okay? So we got that round just because we did a little more, okay? We won the round. If we're going to kick, I need you to get the jab in his face first. Get anything in his face first. I don't want you kicking naked. He's looking to counter. Back's hurting. We got to fight through it, buddy. I love you, but fuck that shit. You got to fight through this shit.
Breath.
Okay?
Deep breath in. Slow it down. You're doing great. And start loosening up now.
So much work in it.
Good fast combinations. That level 2, level 2, 3 is there. Here we go. Let them hands go. We're up. Start letting it go now, Francis.
Interesting, in between rounds, Derrick Lewis saying his back is bothering him. And this is an issue that he had in the past. He had to pull out of a fight last minute.
Back spasms on fight day. took away an opportunity to fight Fabricio Verdun several months ago, and it seems like that is rearing its ugly head again for the Black Beast. Here is round 2. You heard John Wood hoping for a little bit more aggression out of Ngannou. We'll see if he gets those hands going. Ngannou still with that number 1 next to his name. Derrick Lewis, number 5 in the world at present.
Derrick Lewis feinting quite a bit, trying to open it up on his way in, and Ngannou being extremely cautious. It's funny, leading up to this fight, I said, there's no way this fight could be anything other than chaos.
Right.
It's definitely possible that I was wrong.
Well, you got Derrick Lewis, who apparently has a little bit of an injury, and you can tell he's thinking about it. But at the same time, you got Ngannou, who got beat in his last fight, so maybe he's a little gun shy, and that created this.
Look at these total strikes. Ngannou, 2 of 10. That's crazy.
And 5 of 18.
Yeah.
6 of 18.
Does that count?
It is a strike, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Some of that lack of activity certainly can be chalked up to some respect for the power coming back his way.
I don't know if that's it, or if it's perhaps caution because he doesn't feel good. Look at all these people lighting their lighters up, using their phones.
Yeah.
People are upset.
They've had a lot to cheer about here tonight, but not necessarily the fight we expected here. Under 3.5 minutes to go in round 2.
Well, you know, people oftentimes are not the same after a loss. And although it wasn't a devastating knockout, it was a humiliating 5-round domination at the hands of the champion. And we could be looking at the psychological effects of that as much as we're looking at respect for Derrick Lewis. And for Derrick Lewis, he's got the back spasms, and he's also aware that Francis Ngannou is a big power striker. But as little as he's doing more.
Right.
Just saw Ngannou land a good strike to the eye of Derrick Lewis. Good counted backstep hook.
Testy Vegas crowd here, midway through round 2.
I think they're entertaining themselves. This is crazy.
Dom, as a fighter, when that happens, I'm not saying it's happened to you, but how do you do you hear that? Do you just tune it out?
You definitely hear it, and it depends on the fighter. Some people tune it out, and some people start turning up and going after it, and the next thing you know, you get knocked out because you rushed and you listen to the crowd. So it can go both ways.
But Francis seems completely averse to getting hit. I mean, he's not engaging.
I honestly believe he's going to pick up in the third. I really do. I think he's waiting. I mean, I'm hoping that that's what we get, obviously, but that's the only thing I could think of, is he doesn't want to get tired, because he got tired his last fight, so he's going to wait and make sure he doesn't get tired. Sprint in the third round. It's 5 minutes of sprint still, which is difficult. And maybe that takes the air out of Derrick Lewis' sails. Now you don't got as bad of a fight if you wait till the third round to fight Lewis on the feet.
This is crazy, though.
I agree.
This is so strange to watch.
We are 8.5 minutes in. Francis Ngannou officially 2 for 15 on his total strike attempts.
That's just insane. And even when he's exchanging, I mean, he's very, very timid in what he's doing.
Definitely not the guy we saw early.
No.
He's not.
No, not the guy that fought Alistair Overeem. That guy was willing to exchange with anybody. Look at this, Herb Dean talking to him.
See, look at him grab his back. See Derrick Lewis grab his back?
You guys need to engage. Don't get me involved. Make me take points from someone taking a back step. Do this on your own. Time to fight.
So that is a warning for timidity, Joe, from Herb Dean.
Yellow card in the Pride days, huh?
Yeah. Well, yellow card costs you money. This is just a weird warning. Pride had a good system. Here's a nice jab by Ngannou with 54 seconds to go. That's crazy.
And rarely do we see those warnings as Derrick Lewis attacks the body, but oftentimes it goes to one fighter or the other for stalling, not both.
Here's a good jab landed by Francis.
Little cut above the right eyebrow of Derrick Lewis.
Derrick Lewis is swinging for it at least. If Ngannou loses a decision like this,
And he could, because he's getting outstruck.
Yes,
Technically,
100%.
he's getting outstruck.
100%. If he doesn't win by knockout, he might very well lose a decision. We're in the old system, right? There's no 10-8s here unless something absolutely spectacular happens. So unless he does something amazing in the third round or stops Derrick Lewis, we might be looking at the most boring heavyweight decision of all time.
I'm gonna have to agree with you.
All right, last round. You gotta let those hands go first. Hey, here you go. Combinations, he's scared. We might be down 2 rounds here, so I need you to go out there and let it out today, okay? We need to stop him or put his ass down this round. Let those hands go. That level 2, just get on those feints. More than one. You got to put combinations together, okay? Let him go. Last round.
Counter uppercut. Close the gap with your lower body. Step forward with the punch. Keep the punches straight, and let's throw them in bunches. It's all right, man. 5 minutes left. No, gentlemen.
You got this round, Derek. You know what's up.
UFC 226, Miocic versus Cormier is presented by Modelo Especial, brewed with a fighting spirit since 1925. Well, John Woodjoe wisely telling Ngannou he's probably down 2 rounds to 0. We'll see.
This is so crazy, though. It's so weird to watch. It's so weird to see and think that we might not ever see that old Francis Ngannou again. I mean, we're just seeing a very timid, cautious fighter now.
We'll see if Ngannou here can return to the form that literally lit this division on fire over the last 2 years.
Look at these total strikes. This is crazy. 6 out of 25, 9 out of 37 in the third round. That is just insane. And again, Ngannou's not doing anything different. He's throwing a jab from way outside. He's throwing kicks from way outside. And when Derrick Lewis comes near him, he moves away.
Right.
And there's a kick.
And Lewis not void of criticism either, but seems like his game plan was rooted in a counterattack, and hard to counter when someone's not throwing offense your way. Less than 4 minutes now to decide this one. The super fight follows.
It's one of those things you always wonder. How is a fighter going to come back from his first real defeat in the octagon, a championship fight, when he's really only been fighting 5 years? You don't know much about him. Well, this is terrible. With 3 minutes and 34 seconds left.
Another thing you got to add to the equation, Joe, is in other sports, when somebody loses, they kind of go against somebody who's not completely at the top of the weight class. And we got the top 5 guys that Ngannou's going right back into right after a loss. So it does change things a little bit with that. Not an excuse, but in boxing, you know, they'll get somebody not quite as good, and they'll be able to get some momentum back before they get to the top of the division.
Yeah,
he lost and went straight to the top of the division to somebody in the top 5. So that is difficult to do as well.
I certainly agree with you, but he's just not engaging.
No, I'm with you, Joe. I'm not arguing with you. I get it. 9 strikes is silly.
Derrick Lewis's coach, Bob Perez, is imploring him to try to change levels and get a takedown, which could punctuate a potential win here, or at least sway the judges. But Ngannou, oftentimes his hands are open, Joe, not even ready to throw. All right, let's listen in to Bob Perez, 4-Ounce Fight Club, the corner of Derrick Lewis.
Hands high. Push him forward, Derek. Come forward. That's the chance. He's going back.
Outside the leg, right side attack.
He's on the left side. That's his uppercut side. Left hand is his uppercut hand.
Here's a crazy statistic. The record for the least amount of strikes landed
Get back righty.
is 25,
23.
and these guys are at 20. So they're really close. What was that fight? Do we know? It was an old school fight with Jens Polder.
Not a record you want. Derrick Lewis with a flurry, less than 2 minutes here to go.
Less than 2 minutes to go. This is insane. Oh man, he's just swinging. It's so strange. So from so far out,
And do yourself a favor later, go on UFC Fight Pass to remind yourself of what these guys have done over the last several years.
Or don't.
Or put on one of those fights. Now, I don't know.
This is going to be the weirdest decision ever. If this goes to decision.
If it goes to a draw, would you be surprised?
Would they both lose?
It's a draw. I think there's just no decision at all with the draw, right?
It seems like it should be a double loss. This is crazy.
Well, and the expectation was that the winner of this fight could very well be next to challenge for a title.
That could have been ugly, though.
Lewis able to duck that, offering less than a minute to go. Francis Ngannou has landed 9 total strikes.
What the hell?
Did not see this coming.
At all.
Not even ever. That's how hard fighting is, and that's how different it is to guess what's going to happen in these fights.
Can't remember. Oh, left hand for Ngannou lands.
Now they're going. There's a minute, 30 seconds left. Now they'll fight.
Oh, left hand for Ngannou. That got the Black Beast's attention. Couple knees now from Lewis.
I think Derrick Lewis could win this fight.
Oh, he's going to win this fight.
I think he's going to.
Yeah, he's winning this fight 100%. I mean, they just marked the 10 seconds to go, and Ngannou still isn't engaging.
Oh, and Francis Ngannou throws a strike after the horn, and that is only going to lead to more boos from the assembled masses here in Vegas. Man, what a stunner.
That's one of the worst heavyweight fights I've ever seen in my life, if not the worst. No, I'm going to say the worst. What was worse? What name a worse heavyweight fight?
I think there was one involving Konstantin Arokin, but I digress.
I don't remember
not
that
good.
But this is crazy. From a guy who is thought to be the most terrifying heavyweight contender we've ever seen, to see him fight like this. Like, I don't think he needs a trainer. I think he needs a sports psychologist after that performance. There's no other way of putting it. I mean, you see Derrick Lewis, who's thrown through a kick, and even when Ngannou punches, he punches and he looks like he's just running away. This is crazy.
I don't envy our replay guys trying to find something to show you here. Not a lot of action. 33 total strikes landed. 22 for Lewis, 11 for Ngannou.
This is a fight where Francis Ngannou looks like a guy who's only been training for 5 years.
Right.
Every other fight he's had, he looks like this freak athlete destroyer put on this earth to knock people into another dimension.
Well, I mean, now he knows he's human, though, Joe.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
That's a big difference. It really is that way.
All right, the official decision.
This is
mercifully brought to you by Metro PCS. Get knockout coverage of the UFC on a network that covers 99% of people in the U.S. Let's throw it inside of Bruce Buffer.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. The judges score the contest 29-28, 29-28, and 30-27 for the winner by unanimous decision, Derrick the Black Beast Lewis.
So Derrick Lewis, your winner by decision tonight over the no longer #1 heavyweight contender Francis Ngannou. Lewis has now won 8 of his last 9.